Let's have a conversation with our friends in Japan, Dr. Midori Daimon. She is the coordinator of the Study in Japan Global Network for the Sub-Saharan Africa office. And today she's joined by a colleague of hers, a friend of hers, who is Dinah Ogara. Dinah Ogara is a PhD student at the Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology, TUMSAT. And the ladies are now joining us on the line. Good morning, ladies, or good afternoon for you.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Midori-san, it's good to see you again this week.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Right. Dinah Ogara, I'm skipping your middle name. Please pronounce your middle name. Sorry, say that again? It's a chain. Okay. So Dinah and Midori are both in Japan. Dinah is a PhD student at the Tokyo University of Marine Sciences in Japan. And Midori-san is the coordinator of the Study in Japan Global Network. As we've been speaking to you, ladies, Midori, we've been talking about the need, what you're promoting, which is that there are opportunities for Kenyans to apply to universities in Japan, and you can go to study in Japan, and you can live in Japan, and also there are opportunities for people who so wish to work in Japan after this. You've been having a number of, sessions and seminars and going around, holding webinars and making people aware of this. Just tell us, what has the reaction and the feedback been so far?
Actually, we have been getting many people who have interest in studying Japan. Also, they have some people they have interest in also working, and actually some people have interest in a short exchange program also. And it's good to have that some short stay in Japan so that they can get more good idea to take degree course in Japan.
Okay. So now that there's a lot more interest, people are very interested in going to school here and the options that are available. I mean, even as we look at then graduate studies and scholarships today and what is then available for people to come to, can you give us an overview of that? Because we've talked about this in the last couple of weeks, that one of the issues is how to pay for an education if you decide to take it up in Japan. So what is available, Midori, for people to have access to when it comes to financing?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Now there's some financial assistance, as I explained to you this whole month. They actually mainly there's one is Japanese government scholarship. We can call also next scholarship. This is full covered one, and they under this Japanese government scholarship, there's two kinds. One is embassy recommendation. So you can apply to this scholarship through embassy, and the application period is open around late April or sometimes more later. Like last year, it was changed because of COVID-19. And also there's another version is university recommendation. So that is, you can apply to university itself directly. And actually today, my partner, Ms. Dinah, she is successfully to get this Japanese government scholarship, university recommendation, and now she luckily now she is now in Japan and study her PhD course. And this is Japanese government scholarship, and this is full covered, and so including daily expenses. Like per month, you can get around 140,000 Kenyan shillings. So this is very enough to survive in Japan, and then you don't need to work in Japan when you are studying, of course. And also there's another scheme that is like university. University has some financial assistance, like 100% tuition fee with or 30% tuition reductions, or sometimes also there's some scholarship called the JASO scholarship. This one, if you apply to this scholarship, you can get like 48,000 Kenyan shilling per month. So these scholarships you can apply through university where you are going to. So sometimes they can select you who will get the scholarship. They can select you during the selections, like document selection. And when you enter, they can tell you that you will get the scholarship or financial assistance. Also, there's some private foundations. They can give you like one time, so 300,000 Kenyan shillings one time, and then you can get that financial assistance to survive start your life in Japan like that. Sorry, I hope you can get enough information.
And is it highly competitive? Because some of the things that we see sometimes, I mean, just looking at schools across the world, when it comes to then financial aid and is it highly competitive? There's certain things that you must have in order to apply for this scholarships or this financial aid.
Yeah, actually, this especially Japanese government scholarship, makes the scholarship. This one is highly competitive. So and then you have to get a GPA more than 2.3. This 2.3 is very somehow high. Yes. So if you have that academic performance, yeah, you can try to get. Although we can't say that you get for sure. And the other scholarship like tuition reduction is of course there is also some competition, but even during the selection you can give many documents, and then they will see if you have good performance, or if you have good essay, or if you have good research plan. They can see that this is very worth so to get the scholarship. So I can't say that it's too much high competitive.
Dinah, so we understand from Midori-san that you are one of those lucky ones who have actually gotten this scholarship. Just take us through the journey of your application for this scholarship. How did you know about this? How did you know about the scholarship and the program? And how did you get to select this particular university that you're in?
Okay, thank you for having me. So basically, I learned of the scholarship through Midori. And what essentially drew me to her was my background is physical and land use planning in Kenya. So basically, there is a growing need for experts in the blue economy. And when I met Midori, she was able to guide me through. So she actually mentioned to me that there's a special program for experts in the field of the blue economy. And so really this drew me to her. So there was, I can say, like a workshop at the embassy that she invited me to. And basically, I attended the workshop. There were a lot of other universities that were pitching, like the courses they offer and everything. And Midori was able to match me to the course of interest. So I would say that it's a process that's largely driven by your interest, your passion, and I'd say to an extent your persistence. Yeah. So coming from that, I was able to begin the process. I would say it's a very attainable process, but it's very rigorous. Okay. So what is the first step is you need to sort of be an outstanding student, as Midori has mentioned, in the sense that you need to have a certain amount, like level of grades, for them to really shortlist you into the first step. Okay. Then once you get through that, your documents, which is basically your transcripts, your CV, and any other like academic qualification that you have, is screened. Okay. So in my case, because I'm on university recommendation, the performance was the entry point, and after having these high scores, then I went into the steps of you now need to make the application. So then again, there's another series of steps. So there are forms you need to fill, but this again is guided by Midori and now guided by the university that has selected you. So in my case, I went through first having 2 interviews. So I had an interview first with the director of international programs at the school I'm in, and then I had another interview with a potential supervisor. And you only get to meet the supervisor if your area of interest or your research concept note is kind of clear, so that then they know exactly who to match you with in terms of expertise and what you're trying to achieve. So then I got to the second interview. Again, at this point, you really have to explicitly explain your interest and then move from there and now get into now the funding support. And I would say that Midori is really being modest, because the funding, really, I would say that Japan is a very supportive country in terms of education, because they literally give us everything. Like if you need something, there are no bureaucracies, no challenges. Like if I ask for something today, I will get it tomorrow. So it's just a question
Dinah,
of
be careful. Be careful. If you ask for anything, they'll give it to you tomorrow. And I let my imagination go with it. I'm going to imagine all sorts of things. If you ask for a house, will they give you one?
So, in the context of our discussion, I mean anything academic.
Thank you.
Yeah, so basically, yes, my apologies. So basically, it's just having that persistence, being very clear in terms of the process. I see that there are some viewers who have joined from Uganda, so it's also knowing their embassy requirements, knowing their consular regulations, and kind of sticking to that and just going through the process diligently. And I think that's what I'd say. I would say that for Kenyans, this is a great opportunity, and I would really be happy to see more Kenyans, take up this chance.
Dinah, let me ask you this question. Had you made a similar application to any other international university before?
I actually had. So I think one of the biggest grueling or challenges of trying to get a scholarship is you have to make quite a number. So it's not just you apply for one and you're assured of getting it. So I did apply to several universities, obviously outside North America and Europe, then Asia, which is Japan, was the attraction for me. So yeah.
And from the applications that you made, I'm sure you found them equally rigorous. Now, this is a question why I'm asking this question is because if you are studying and you're interested in pursuing a PhD course, PhD courses by their very nature are very vigorous, and they're also very extremely demanding. Now, did you find the course that they're offering you right now in the university that you're at, do you feel that they are as competitive as the courses that were offered by the other universities that you had applied for?
Absolutely. Actually, if anything, I feel that this is even more competitive than what I was looking for, and I'll give you my reason why. So when I came here, of course, there's the usual orientation, etc., but we first got to meet professionals, especially, for example, my sensei. So my sensei is my supervisor, and he plays a very large role not only in the school, but also at global level. So he himself is someone very competitive in the industry, and he's able to guide and mentor me and many other students. So already you're looking at having a very strong network in terms of your field. You're really looking at, knowing where you can fit and how you are relevant. So that's just one example. But largely, I would say that, so for my industry now, which is the blue economy, is I'm trying to get into this industry and become an expert. And for that, there's a lot that's required, especially in terms of finances, because of the type of equipment that's used, the nature of activities we engage in, and there's really a lot of support. This program offers that kind of support. And I'd say largely because Japan is a country that is an island country, as you may know. So they're surrounded by like the Pacific Ocean, a lot of oceans, and over the years, their country's trajectory and their experience in this field is really strong, and I'm able to actually learn from this. So it's really an awesome opportunity, I would say.
So, I mean, obviously, there are those who want an opportunity to be able to come out and study, right? And again, as we're talking today, Dina, and maybe you can also jump in here, Midori, later, is that, are you then able, with the scholarship that you've received, those that you applied for, are you able to go to school and actually live well on a monthly basis, kind of thing, with the scholarship that you have been given, so that you don't have to worry then about, upkeep and things like this? Does it cater well for this?
Yes, I would say it does. The stipend that we're given is, as Midori has mentioned, it varies between basically the university you get to in the region, but it's largely within a certain range. And actually, because that money is largely untaxed, so you're actually getting the money in its full amount, and you're able to live really well and focus on your studies, because indeed that's what has brought you here. You don't need to struggle with looking for work or trying to make ends meet based on the quality of life that is here. So I would say, for me, it's worked really well, and I thank God because I'm able to focus on what has brought me here. Yeah.
I'd like to ask Midori-san, this question I want to ask you. Yes, you mentioned that the GPA required by most of the universities is 3.9, you mentioned. But what I'm interested in, that is excellent.
2.3.
2.3, you said. Oh, so this 3.9 is my imagination. Okay, I clearly have a very active imagination this morning. But the question I wanted to ask was this. If someone wanted to study in Japan and did not want a scholarship, what would the cost of that education be in the universities that you have on average? Would they be competitive to other universities and national universities abroad, or would they be cheaper?
Oh, okay. Actually, the national university or public universities in Japan, tuition fee is around like 500,000 Kenyan shillings per year, and this is not so much expensive than U.S. universities and U.K. So it's, and also the daily expenses is like 90,000 Kenyan shillings, or like 80,000 Kenyan shillings per month. You need to expense in Japan, but as I told you, that the half of that living cost, you can, if you manage to get just a scholarship, you can survive where you can ready to be only half of that, like 50,000 Kenyan shillings.
Thank you. But in Kenya shillings, what would the cost of accommodation and simply living, on average, what would it amount to? If somebody had a child they want to take to learn in Japan, but they wanted to pay, what would that cost? Living expenses and so forth.
Sorry, living expenses.
Yes, accommodation, food, etc., etc.
Apart from tuition, okay. So that one is like around 80 to 90,000. But it depends on the where you are going to stay. Like Tokyo, as you know, the capital city is very high, somehow high, like 90, sometimes like 100,000 Kenyan shillings you need. But others like local area, but there are many universities in like where I am in Hokkaido is not somehow far from Tokyo, but good city, and then the living cost is not so much, like 70,000 to 80,000 Kenyan shillings a month.
Thank you. The other question that comes to mind, Midori-san.
Dinah wants to.
Dinah, please go ahead.
Personal experience.
Yes, please. So in my personal experience, Midori is very correct. She's giving you a good range. Like she said, it varies by region, right? But for our case, the university is actually having us within the compound. So in terms of commuting, we're not paying much. And also we're living at a subsidized rate. So what you have then is you're not looking at a full, say, 80,000, but let's say between 20 to 35,000. So really, that's what I'm saying. It's a very considerate system. It's only for a year, obviously, because then they expect us to move somewhere else, which they have already kind of allocated. But they kind of want to make sure that you are comfortable, you settle in well, and you're also not struggling. Yeah, so they make arrangements for that. In addition, I do have friends from other countries who are not necessarily on a scholarship but are able to find work, which is enabling them to support themselves, and it's really actually helping them. So the idea is to just do your best, try and get here, and you will be able to survive. Like, because they are paid within an hourly rate, and I think cumulatively it comes to a good enough amount to pay your tuition and to live. Thank you.
So you're saying that the colleagues that you see who are not on scholarship and they're there, they're paying for themselves, they're able to find work, most of them, and just from the proceeds of the work that they do, they're actually able to cover their tuition and their living expenses.
Yes, please. Yes, please. But then also that's it's supplemented, of course, by like grants and everything. So it's really just a question of being very strategic, but it's very doable.
Okay. So Dinah Ogara is a PhD student at the Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology, and Dr. Midori Daimon is the coordinator of the Study in Japan Global Network for Sub-Saharan Africa office. Dr. Midori, just tell us about any other program that you are planning to have, maybe a webinar where people can tune in and get to learn a lot more about the courses being offered in Japan and the kind of universities that you have in Japan.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, next month, in March 17th, we have a webinar by our project. So please go to our website, studyinjapan-africa.com, www.studyinjapan-africa.com. So if you go to our website, you can get the registration URL, and then please registrate right now at free admission, and you will get more information, some scholarship, and also education. And especially we are targeting graduate studies on engineering, science, agriculture, and technology. So please come to our website. And if you have any question, also please come to our website and then inquire us. So that as Ms. Dinah did, we can also connect to the scholarship program, or we can assist you. Somehow long journey, but it's good journey to study in Japan. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, ladies, and we wish you a great day in Japan. I can imagine that, Dinah, you're in Tokyo. Because you're studying
in Tokyo.
Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology. Dr. Midori, where are you?
Yes, please.
Now I'm in Sapporo, Hokkaido.
In Hokkaido.
It's northern island. There's many snow outside.
Oh, okay. Enjoy the weather.
Okay.
Have a lovely day. Thank you very much. You can also, if you'd like to catch up on all the conversation we've been having with Midori-san and her colleagues, you can just go onto our YouTube channel, Spice FM KE, and you will find all the videos there. Study in Japan is the name of the videos that we have actually put there. It's a playlist called Study in Japan. You'll find all the conversations that we've been having with Midori-san, and you can then also log on to the website, which is studyinjapan-africa.com. You find more information, and if you'd like to ask any questions, you can get in touch with them. The contacts are right there on the website.